Recovering from an ACL injury, your complete phase-by-phase guide. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pain and Performance Clinic channel. Today we're taking a deep dive into ACL recovery, what to expect, how long it really takes, what each phase looks like, and what you can actually do to help yourself at each stage. If you've just torn your ACL, you've had surgery, or you're somewhere along that rehab journey, this video will give you clarity and confidence so you know exactly what's coming next and how to measure progress the right way. We'll go through each phase from day one right up to getting back to high-level field sports. I'll show you what the key milestones are, what you can safely do in each phase, and how to know when you're ready to move on from one phase to the next. Let's start with the basics. What is the ACL? Your ACL, or anterior cruciate ligament, is one of the key stabilizing ligaments in your knee. It helps stop the shin bone from sliding forward and keeps the knee steady when you twist, turn, or suddenly stop. When you tear your ACL, usually from a sudden cut or a pivot or an awkward landing, the knee can feel unstable, like it gives way when you change direction. For most people, it's accompanied by extreme pain, but that's not the same for everyone. Many people who play sport or want to stay active choose to have it reconstructed through surgery. But the truth is, the surgery alone doesn't fix the problem. It's the rehabilitation afterwards that determines how strong, stable, and confident your knee will really be. The full ACL recovery process typically takes around 9 months, and sometimes longer for high-level sport. But here's the important thing. It's not really just about time, it's about milestones. Your knee doesn't know what month it is, it only knows what you've taught it to do. And you need to look at your rehab from that perspective. So instead of thinking it's been 6 months, I should be back running, think, have I hit the strength, control, and confidence markers that show I'm ready to move on? Every phase builds on the one before it, like steps on a ladder. So let's go through each one. The pre-op phase. The goal here is to calm the knee down, restore movement, and build early strength. If you're waiting for surgery, or even if you're going non-surgical, this first phase is crucial. The stronger, calmer, and more mobile your knee is before surgery, the smoother your recovery is afterwards. Some work here can mean your progress through the early stages of rehab is smoother. The goals pre-surgery are to get rid of the swelling, regain full ability to strengthen and bend your knee, activate your thigh muscles or your quads, and start moving confidently without blatant limping. The exercises shouldn't irritate the knee joint, but should work the quads, hips, and include movements like squats, and gentle cycling is often good. This phase is about setting the foundation. If you go into surgery with a stiff, swollen knee and a weak quad, you might not qualify for surgery, or you'll come out worse off. But if you go in strong and mobile, you'll bounce back much quicker. Post-surgery then, phase 1, early post-op, between say 0 and 6 weeks. The goal here is to protect the graft, reduce swelling, and gently get your movement back. A little bit of patience here makes sense. In these early weeks after surgery, the focus is simple. Keep the knee joint calm. Get it fully straight, gradually bend it as comfort allows, and reactivate the thigh and glute muscles through early stage banded and strengthening exercises. You might be using crutches for a short while, and that's fine. Don't rush it. Most people wean themselves off crutches at around 10 to 14 days. These are some of the exercises you can do during this early phase. You've got range of motion exercises, banded quads, terminal knee extension, bodyweight squats, and bodyweight step-ups. Gentle cycling is also fantastic for movement. The key here is consistency. If the knee swells after you do something, it's telling you you've done too much. If it feels comfortable and smooth, you're on track. Think of this phase as teaching your knee how to move again. Calmly, gently, but regularly. Exercises, especially in the first 4 weeks, are low intensity but high frequency, so they're done daily and even sometimes multiple times each day. So phase 2, this is from 6 weeks to around 12 weeks. This phase will involve doing 3 good strength sessions a week in the gym. The goal here is to build real strength and control throughout the whole leg and your whole body. Now you're ready to start loading the leg properly. This is where progress really starts to happen. You feel stronger, more stable, and at this stage some of your confidence begins to return. The rehab looks a lot like a strength and conditioning program. You're back in the gym, training again, feeling more like yourself. You'll be adding weight to the following exercises. Things like squats, step-ups and step-downs, split squats or lunges, bridges or hamstring isolation exercises, some single leg balance work. You're teaching the knee to control weight again, not just move. You're looking for quality here, not just quantity. So smooth, confident movement without much wobbling and without pain. By the end of this phase, your strength should be at least 70% of the other leg, and you should be able to do things like step-ups, squats, and single leg balance exercises easy and comfortably. Phase 3 is where there's a real focus on strength and power from say 3 months to 6 months. At this stage, you'll be doing 3 gym sessions a week and 2 or even sometimes 3 running sessions a week. At 5 or 6 months, some of these can be double days where you complete 1 running session directly after a lighter gym session. The goal here is to build strength, power, and movement control for more dynamic tasks. This is where your training starts to look more like an athlete's program. You'll now be doing things like heavy weighted squats and deadlifts, split squats or Bulgarian lunges, single leg press, hamstring curls or Nordic exercises, heavy weighted calf raises, jumping and landing drills, landing softly with control, light agility or cone drills, running in multi directions, jogging and then progressing those running programs in terms of speed and volume. It's not all about lifting heavy, it's about control, confidence and balance under the movement. Every rep should look clean, balanced and smooth. You'll start doing small hops and controlled landings, teaching the knee how to handle force again. When you can jog or run for about 15 or 20 minutes without swelling or discomfort, you're usually ready to move forward. So straight line sprints will be tolerable for most people by about 6 months. Phase 4 is the return to sport or field-based phase, going from 6 to 9 months. This phase will involve 2 really good lower body gym sessions and 3 pitch sessions with a good 20-minute prehab session before each of those pitch sessions. The goal here is to rebuild sport-specific strength, control and confidence. Now we're preparing for the chaos of the pitch. So cutting, changing direction, stopping suddenly, accelerating, landing and even contact needs to be brought into it at this stage. The key here is to simulate those game movements gradually and under control. You'll do things like jump and landing drills, single leg hops, multi-directional hops, agility drills with cones, shuttles and reactive changes, acceleration and deceleration sprints, cutting drills at different angles and being able to do all of the above under fatigue. Sport-specific conditioning, passing, sprinting, tackling, reacting to other players' movements. Continuing strength work in the gym with your heavy squats or deadlifts, your lunges, your RDLs, and the exercises we've already mentioned. At this stage, your strength should be at least 90 to 95% of the other leg, and you should pass your hop and your change of direction tests. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about how confident and natural your movement feels. You should trust your knee again at this stage. You will only get that by having all of the work done. Phase 5, maintenance and prevention. So the goal here is to keep your knee strong, resilient and confident for the long run. Even after you're fully back, your knee will always appreciate and need ongoing strength work. 2 short strength sessions per week can make all the difference. Focus on single leg strength, so lunges, step-ups, RDLs, landing and jumping with control, strength and power exercises like squats or deadlifts. The warm-up or prehab activation routines that you do before training are very important, and it's really important to maintain that going forward. This phase never really ends. You've had surgery or you've had a significant injury on that knee. This should become part of your normal training routine going forward. In fact, if it doesn't, you're far more likely to get pain in that knee than anywhere else. So the common pitfalls to avoid. Number 1 is rushing ahead just because your knee feels fine and progressing too fast. Number 2 is skipping strength once you can jog again. Number 3 is ignoring swelling or pain after harder sessions and not reducing your load or activity. Number 4 is doing agility before comprehensive strength is restored through your gym work. Number 5 is thinking rehab ends once you're back on the pitch. It never ends. Remember, ACL rehab is about quality, not speed. So every skipped step comes back to haunt you later. The compound effect of doing a little bit less for weeks and weeks and months only gets revealed in these later stages when your knee just doesn't feel right or it cannot cope with training loads. The answer to that is in what has happened in the months before that. So I'd really try and encourage you to do the basics really well. Take your time through the phases, focus on your strength work, and then running shouldn't cause any irritations in your knee. So to summarize, recovery from an ACL injury is a journey. It's not about racing back to sport, it's about rebuilding yourself step by step. Take your time, do it properly. Start with movements frequently, then you're going to build strength and build control with that strength, then add in power and focus on performance. So being able to hop, jump, skip and react. If you hit each milestone in order, stay consistent and work closely with your physio or strength coach, you not only return, but it's an opportunity for you to return stronger, faster and more powerful than you were pre-injury. If this video helped you understand your ACL journey better, please hit like and subscribe or share it with someone who's going through that knee rehab journey now. Comment below what phase you're in. I'd love to hear how you're doing, and if you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment and we'll get back to you. Thanks a lot for watching.